Hello, thank you for clicking on this video. I want to appreciate you as always. My name is Kelechi Ambrose. I am here today to do just something very briefly, and it talks about, the call, all over the place against the IGBOS. The call all over the place against the IGBOS. Now, before I go on, please, I want to tell you, wherever you are, please like this video and send to on all your social media platforms. And comment on this video, because I want to hear your thoughts about what we're going to be discussing today. And at the same time, also, please share, like the video, and then subscribe to the channel so that we can reach more people. It's important that we discuss critical issues like this, especially if we want to save lives, if we want to get ourselves, delivered or free without losing much or most of us, more of us and all of that. And because these days, what we see is emotion here and there. When you talk about freedom, people get emotional, and people always, of course, when you are emotional about a thing, the next thing that comes is that you are going to always make wrong decisions about how you're going to handle that stuff, because everything that is thought in the realm of emotion always would not always go along or go properly, because your emotion is supposed to be subject to your senses when you are looking at things. If you want to look at things critically, no matter how emotional you are about a thing, you must also come to terms with your reasoning. Your reasoning will help and stable your emotional disposition and help you make the right judgment about what you need to do. I want to welcome you one more time. Sorry. You see, I have been listening to lots of. In fact, one was just sent to me just about an hour ago, and it just made me feel that I should talk about this stuff, because I've been hearing lots of people from the Bini people, the Yorubas, basically Bini and Yorubas, inciting violence against the IGBOS, both abroad and within the contraption, inciting violence. In fact, there was one I think I listened to, it should be some years ago, is it about 2020 or so, or after the lockdown or so, when the wife of the current president, Remy Tinubu, was also saying that they are going to invoke the gods of Lagos. Of course, that place is not Lagos anyways, it's Eko, the original name Eko. So they're going to invoke the gods and to send the Igbos away from Lagos, and then they're going to inherit. And she was just talking, people around just smiling. The normal thing is that we always smile about everything, and and so many space programs on X. You hear Bini guys, girls or ladies, Yoruba guys or ladies inciting, violence against Igbos, and saying so many things. Let's kill them, let's unite, let the world come together. Even abroad, they tell the people, they want to incite the world, the people, all over the nations where they are found, where Igbos are found, telling them that the people, if you are talking about Nigerians, it is the Igbos that are committing the crimes, that are doing the worst things or doing the evils around your country. So let's unite and deal with them, let's eradicate them. Now, my problem is not about these tribes. My problem is the force behind that incitement. The notion behind that incitement. Now, there's always a reason, for something to happen or something incited. There's always a reason to it, and if you don't look at it critically like that, you will discover that the next thing is to be emotional, and then there will be attacks here and there, and before you know it, we are fighting and it goes into something else. Now, when people begin to call, the scripture says that out of the heart, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. When you begin to hear incitements like this, like that, it is not a joke. It is serious. First, you must take it to understand that this is serious. It is not just we are just talking. No, it is important for you to take that. That is why people would always be brought before the courts, or judged according to what they say or the things they do. Because words are very, very critical when you want to deal with the people, and when it becomes a threat to a tribe within a location or something. Let me not use the contraption called Nigeria for now, because I want to look at tribes each. Because now, from the call of genocide against the IGBOS, simply means that we are still conscious of our tribal differences in that contraption called Nigeria. And the painful thing is that in spite of the consciousness, the same people who are conscious about their tribes want to still be together in a contraption that is fueling this incitement. Now, as I said initially, I said my problem is not with the tribes, but my problem is what incites the call for genocide. Now, every call for genocide is just because the people are jumbled in one place called Nigeria. That is their problem. That is the main problem. Now, if there is a separation, every tribe being on their own to govern their own, you will discover that these problems will not be there. In fact, if they are going to even be there, it won't be as massive as it is now. It is going to only be, about something, that is mild, and it could be dealt with easily, because of course for the fact that you are controlling your territory alone would make you it would give you a mental relief to do what you have to do according to how you want to do it, with consciousness that you are actually in control of your territory. With the consciousness that you are actually in control of your territory. Now, ask yourself this question, because sometimes we don't always ask ourselves questions. We just hear a thing and we react. Why the call for genocide against the Igbo race? Why the call? What are we fighting for? What are we dragging? What are we, what is the problem? What is the problem? Now, because the Igbos would always tell you, especially what happened the last time when Showere was calling for protest, the Igbos were saying, we're not going to be part of the protest. We are not going to be part of the protest. We're not going to be part of the protest. And they felt offended. We don't want you to be part of the protest. Another will say, hey, you are the one inciting the protest. You are just trying to pretend as if you're not the one. I had so many voice messages. I begin to wonder. Now, first, I want every Igbo person to understand this. The threat against your tribe is not a joke. Sorry. The threat against the Igbo race isn't a joke. The reason why you can feel it or see the hatred now is because there is social media. This is how it began before the Civil War of 1967. Or not civil war, anyways, genocidal war against the Igbos. This is how it began. It began like that. Before you know it, there is a killing of Igbos in the north. There's a killing of Igbos here and there and all of that. Don't take the threat to be a joke. I've spoken with I think previously, months ago, years ago, I have spoken with some of our people in Lagos, and especially during that time when Tinubu made those statements and lots of things after the NSAS protest. I've spoken with lots of our people. I keep talking to our people, and they feel relaxed. They say, you see, forget it. It's few people who are making those threats. Now ask yourself the question, why are these people making the threats and nobody is doing anything about it? Because in a normal society, in a sane society, when people threaten another tribe, it's supposed to be handled very critically. Why are the security agencies not going after these people making threats against one tribe? Ask yourself, don't just relax because you want to be in Lagos, because you want to be away from it. Understand that it is a call for you to now be conscious of yourself and your land. The purpose of these calls is to remind you that you don't own the places you are. You have a territory where you have left and you must go back to fix it. Now, let me tell you everything that you need to know about these things, because it is very important. One, you are not handling it well as Igbos. You are busy talking back. You are not looking at how do we solve this problem. If you were at home, or if we were critically doing our things, our investments in our homes, nobody would talk to us like this. If you are living in their territory, like the houses come to your area, or even like they come to your area to live, you would not be threatened this way, because when they come, they don't build their houses in your areas. They only come to rent a place or stay in some nasty places like the houses do, and sometimes the other tribes, and just do their businesses. And then when it's time for them to build or do anything they have to do, they go to their land and territory to build. If you have been doing that, all the investments and all the houses you are building in Lagos, and then you've been to claim ownership, there's no way you can come into a territory and you are making progress, and those people will not envy you. It happened to Abraham. It happened to Isaac. When they went to the land of Canaan and Abraham was increasing, he was making money. Abraham was wealthy. He became envious. They became envious of him. They wanted to get rid of him. Jacob got into that trouble too. When he went to Laban's house, even if it is his mother's brother's place, when he began to thrive and make successes, there was envy. And not to talk about of the fact that you are not even a citizen of that tribe. You are not even a member of that tribe. You will be hated beyond in an alarming way. It's something else. You must understand this. We're not reasoning very well. We think that every call is, and let me tell you, these calls are very dangerous to all of you wherever you are living. They have this. I mean, when people begin to speak this way, understand that there is a force. I've told you that there's no reason for anything. I mean, there's nothing that is done without a reason. So when you hear people say we're going to poison you, we're going to do this, it is easy. You'll say, how are they going to see me to poison me? They can do that. And when they said, somebody was saying that they have given them, one of them was saying, he said it's in Austria also, one Bini guy or whatever tribe he's from. He said he has been saying it, he's going to deal with them, and they have given him enough food to deal with them, which means that in his own way, he is evangelizing, getting his people together, and he has the capacity. When they talk about food, they are talking about weapons and all of that. So to him, they are arming themselves to deal with, and they can do it locally in their locality. And if they do it here and there and there, here and there, wherever you are, having their people everywhere indoctrinated to do all of this stuff, we're going. So this is not the time for talk back. They say you can't send us away. It is not your land, for God's sake. Lagos is not your land. Why do you want to buy properties in other places and live in your land? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Why do we want to buy properties in other places? Why? Do your business then. Live in an apartment, rented apartment. When it's time to move, you move. So it will be that they own the properties. So when you are living like a tenant, which you are. Because even buying their land, you are only a tenant too. They said they are going to inherit your property. So they allow you invest your money in buying properties in their land. And then they want to take the property from you. That means indirectly robbing you of your resources. Because when you put more, for you to buy a property, you pay more. And they want to take it back. Now, first, I want you to understand, Igbos, that this is a call for you to know that you have not been behaving well. Before we look at the other side now, let's look at ourselves first. Because you must first assess your own faults before you can look at the other side and then know what to do and take actions. First, you are not behaving well. It is an evidence that we, the Igbos, are not behaving well. We're not prioritizing our lives properly. We are so connected and carried away by money that we don't prioritize our lives properly. We should begin to look inwards now. We should begin to take stringent actions now. painful actions. Now, what are the actions we're going to take? One, we must think home, business wise, residential wise, investment wise, and otherwise. We must begin to look back at our mistakes, and we must begin to retrace our steps one after the other. It is something that should be consciously done. Something that should be consciously done. Consciously, that word consciously, that adjective is very important. Consciously. Not emotionally done, sentimentally done. Because if it is emotional, you would think about your properties. Some of you who have houses in Banana Island or land properties in Banana Island in Lagos or at Lekki, you think of, hey, how can I lose this property of them? Sell it off. Take the monies back to your place. Go to, if you don't want to stay in your hometown, go to other places around your land, buy properties there. Nobody will send you away from Biafra land. Nobody would. The level of hatred will not be as this. But we are thinking of taking over other people's places at the expense of our own sanity. Because there is no way they can be just be patting you at the back. Oh, thank you. The humans are naturally envious. And that envy will show over time, especially when they are doing the same thing with you and you are succeeding more than them. It is natural. It has been there over time since the beginning of life. So when you see this hatred, and now it is worse because now you are now not the same, yet you are put under a particular name called Nigeria, which is designed to steal from the people, which is designed to steal from the tribes. So it is even worse, because when two strange bedfellows are in a particular house, the hatred becomes more, because when you see yourselves every day, it tends to aggravate the anger, because you know, is it not the same Nigeria we're in? Why are you succeeding more than me? But if you are just coming as like a foreigner, that's a different thing. Once something happens, they'll say, oh, after all, you are not a member. You can, if they make their laws for you to go, it's easier, you just move. But now they are going to act against you. But when you go to their territory, you want to buy their properties, you want to buy their lands, you want to take over their possessions. The way they are going to treat the Chinese is different from the way they're going to treat you, because the Chinese have the backing of the government, of the contraption, because the government is actually a colonial project. So it is a project for depriving the indigenous people. That is what Nigeria represents. So if they are depriving you by using foreigners, it is easy for them, because Chinese could come and take it and nobody will say anything, because the government that is a representation of the colonial masters or the control mechanisms from Britain, who are, in the palms of Britain. That government has the arms, has the ability to subdue you if you try to attack the people they are giving your properties and your lands. So it is easier for them, but you are the one who is under their slavery. So why are you going there to take their properties and buy their properties? Go and invest your money somewhere. Get the resources. If you want to, if they refuse to open the ports, let's go back in our land and demand that these things are done. You'll see how it's going to work. You see how it's going to work. But rather, we are divided amongst us. Now let's look at the other side, because I can't exhaust the whole issues. Let me look at one side here, then I keep talking about it as the days go by. It's already time for me to end, because I don't want to always make these videos very long, so you can listen. Now, understand this. Those people calling for you to be killed and thrown into the ocean, all those things they are saying. Remember the time of Ambode issue? They said if you don't vote, they are going to throw you into the ocean, they are going to drown you in the ocean. Those people calling that the IGBOS everybody should unite, everybody should rise. Let them. You should understand that they are living in self-denial and they are living in frustration. They are frustrated. When people are frustrated about you, they can be so emotional that they can carry out an action that you would be surprised they would, which you cannot believe they can. And it can just be done to you when you are off guard. You are not conscious about it. You are thinking of something else, and suddenly something comes upon you. And before you know it, and it is when people get frustrated to the point where they want to commit evil, When people get so frustrated, it leads to oppression. They get oppressed in their spirit from the level of frustration. Frustration, when not controlled, when you see them make such kinds of utterances, they're already frustrated. And when that kind of utterances and that kind of mindset continues in them, they get to the point of being oppressed in their spirit. And at the point of being oppressed, demons begin to take control of their thought process. And that thing will get out of hand, because at this point in time, they are no more in control of what they want to do or the actions they want to take, because forces, spiritual forces, are now in control. That is why it's gone to the level of being oppressed. So they are oppressed by these forces that are capitalizing on the seed in their hearts to give them ideas of what they should do regarding that issue. And the frustration now leads to being possessed by these spirits. Because once their spirit begins to agree to the thoughts that is coming, and they begin to reminisce over these thoughts, they now get to the point where they are now possessed by these demons. And they will now begin to carry out actions that even they themselves, after carrying it out, they will wonder why they did it. They will not know why they did it. If you don't believe in spiritual things, just understand that it is. That is what it is. If you don't believe it, you just better have to know it now. Because when you see people, you see the globalists doing the evils in the world, you think these people are normal? You think the Antichrist that is talked about and the spirit of Antichrist that is going on right now and committing atrocities in the world, you think it's normal? No normal human being who has his senses intact would do such kinds of things. But because they are under severe possession, they have no control of their mind now. They have handed their minds over to a spiritual force. Now, if you want to understand spiritual forces, look at the globe, look at the universe, look at the world, look at the cosmos. Just imagine how this globe, this ball we are in, is floating in the air. Just imagine that how it's floating in the air. Imagine the sun floating. Imagine all of them being held by forces, not held by things you can see, forces. Imagine how creation is. Everything has its own arranged way of operating. This tells you that there are forces that are controlling things. Imagine you growing up from a child, formed in the belly, and you were born, and you have grown up, and now you can talk, you can reason, you are getting older. The process continues. Life has, it's like that. Natural laws. Imagine all of this stuff. You will know that you are not just ordinary. So you should understand that there's a spiritual side of you, something about you that is so spiritual that you sometimes, because you think about, you are not conscious of these things in the thought process, you don't understand the gravity of what it is. So when you see people begin to, the one I want you to understand in this reference, first one, we are not thinking straight. We are doing things wrong. That's number 1 point for us today. I'm going to look at the other side. They are under spiritual spell. They are frustrated. And their frustration has gone to the point of being oppressed in their spirits. And at this time, it is dangerous for us if we don't begin to do things about it. If you think this is the time to start exchanging words, then get ready, because we're going to lose more people, and they're also going to lose more people. It's going to be fight here, fight, and tit for tat. And then it's going to be, rather than peaceful, separation, would have disaster on ourselves, calamity on ourselves. Because there are ways of handling things, there are ways of dealing with such kinds of threats, rather than being very emotional and getting ourselves, shooting ourselves on the foot. Because we're going to lose people, they also will lose people, there'll be death here and death here, there'll be, and then the colonial masters will be feeding fat on our fightings. They will provide the arms, they'll give us what it takes. They'll give us the things that we need to fuel, to satisfy our emotion, but we cannot be satisfied emotionally, because whenever you try to satisfy the emotion, you can never be satisfied emotionally unless you begin to reason properly. Then your satisfaction in the emotional realm becomes easier, because your reasoning will help you do the right thing. And the problem is that we are always at that point where we are emotionally battered, so that we don't reason well, and that is where the West, the globalists, the colonizers want to have us, so that we will continue to fight ourselves, and they will continue to steal our resources, using our resources to create weapons for us. We keep shooting ourselves, and when we are confused and shooting ourselves, we will want to sabotage each other. We allow the West come to take what belongs to us, because we don't want to deprive the other person, and we also allow ourselves to be, to be cowed. They supply the weapons for us to kill ourselves. This is the time to reason. So these 2 points, one on this side, one on that side, I've given today. I'm going to talk more on this matter because we have to begin to think straight and do the right thing. And don't allow yourself to be carried away. All those of you, some of you that I talk to that are in Lagos and other places, and you always want to justify why you have to still remain in Lagos. Well, it is better to be home than to be out. That's the truth, especially when your life is in danger. If you think you are okay in Lagos, you're not okay. If you think that where you are living, you are safe, you are not safe. I'm telling you. If you think where we are all IGBOS there, we are all, we have more people, we have arms. So is that what you want? You want it to get to the point of chaos? Then your life might go for it. You must begin to think home. What are you doing in Lagos? Sell off that stuff, go back. There are things you can do at home. There are things you can do at home. As long as the contraption still exists, our spread in other tribes or the lands of other tribes is dangerous. Our living in their territory and buying properties in their territory is dangerous. As long as that name contraption called Nigeria is holding us together, it is dangerous. The only way to be easier is when we are now separated. We now have control of our territories. They have control of their territories or their tribal possession. They can now make laws that suit them. If you're coming in, you're going to abide by their laws. You're not going to abide by the laws of Nigeria. The laws of Nigeria suits the colonial masters, and it also deprives them of their rights. And so they transfer the frustration on you, who is a foreigner. They transfer the frustration on you, who is a Biafran, who have come to their territory to make more money. They are being deprived by the people, by the Nigeria contraption, which is the British property. They are being stolen from. You are being stolen from, and you are coming with the little you have or the ones you have again to their own territory to steal from them as you are being stolen from. And then when they react, you also react because two of you are frustrated, and your frustration will always be between you. It will not be against the contraption, the Nigerian or the British. No, it won't be, because you are being stolen from. They also are being stolen from. Now, but two of you are kept in a place to make you look like you are one. And now you go into your own territory to still take what belongs to them. And hey, what would happen? That is serious risk for everybody. That's serious risk for everybody. But we're not thinking of it that way. On to employers, please. It is time that we reason properly. Please share this broadcast on all your social media platforms. People need to hear this particular thing. And please subscribe so that you can get updates of the things whenever I come on. And then we want to send truth all around. This is Truth Channel Network. We have to get people to be conversant with what is happening and the truth about ourselves so that we can be at the right mindset and get result that we need to get. I want to also say, like this video if you like the things that have been said, and also air your own views by dropping a comment so we can know what you are thinking and about it, and so we can also know that we all can reason along, and then wherever we need to align, we align, and wherever we need to correct things, we correct things. And this is very, very important. Every Igbo must get out of the realm of emotion. Every Igbo person must get out of the emotional side. And I encourage those people who are allowing themselves to be possessed by demons, talking about harming the Igbos. Igbos are not your problem. We have a common enemy, the colonizers, who are using the Nigerian authority to harm the people. That's where the problem is, and that's why you are frustrated. And you must understand that your frustration should be channeled to the right source. And how to channel it is to do the right thing. Join forces with even the Igbos, and every one of us come together to see that we now identify the common enemies, and then we deal with the common enemies, and then it will be easy for us to handle our own differences at that point. Because when we have our different nations, it will help us to stabilize and get the right thing done. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. And I say, please enjoy the rest of your day or night or however it is. And God bless you really good, and stay safe, stay blessed.
Kelechi omema nanegi isukem